Hi, this is Jaya. In this video, we shall see the summary of Two Gentlemen of Verona written by A.J.Cronin. Come, let's go to the summary. A.J.Cronin is a doctor by profession. He did his medicine in Scotland and he practiced in Wales and London. And suddenly at one time he fell ill. And at that time he wrote his first novel. His first novel is Hayter's Castle. And this became an instant hit, and that made him to give up his medical profession and he took up writing as his full-time career. And his famous works are The Spanish Gardener, The Citadel and The Keys of the Kingdom. And of course, this short story, The Two Gentlemen of Verona, is also one of his famous works, and he has taken this title from William Shakespeare's play. And this story is about two sincere and selfless young boys, aged only 12 and 13, who work so hard to treat their sister because their sister is suffering from tuberculosis. This story conveys a message to the people, that is, as far as you are willing to make sacrifices for the well-being of the others, there is definitely a hope of humanity in this world. The story goes like this. One day, the narrator, the story is told by the narrator, his name is not given, is going in the car. His driver, Luigi, is driving and he is going near the foothills of the Alps. And when he is driving in the outskirts of Verona, two young boys, one aged 12 and another aged 13, they come and they try to sell wild strawberries to them. And the driver tells them not to buy the strawberries from them and they'll get better quality in Verona. But something in their eyes, that eagerness to sell the strawberries, makes the narrator to buy from them. And he inquires about them to others and he finds out that the elder one is 13 years old and his name is Nicola, and the younger brother is Jacoba and he is 12 years old. The narrator actually buys the biggest basket of strawberries from them because the boys, even though they are shabbily dressed and they do not attract anyone else, something in their eyes makes the narrator buy from them. And what happens is, the very next morning he sees the same two boys shining the shoes, and then he goes to them and he asks, yesterday I saw you people selling strawberries and today you are shining the shoes. And for that the boy says that they are doing so many work for their living. And he understands that because in Verona it's very difficult to get any job, and living was really tough at that time because it was after the war time. And they also tell the narrator that if he is willing, they will be his guide and they will show the places of interest in the town. So the narrator also tells them to take him to Juliet's tomb. And at that time the boys turn out to be very helpful to the narrator and they do all the errands he wants, like getting American cigarettes, booking opera show tickets, and also recommending good restaurants to him. And finally what happens is he finds himself to get into some bonding with those boys. And after a week, suddenly he finds the boys standing to get the last bus in that night. And when he asks them, they say that they have a bundle of unsold newspapers and so they are waiting for the last bus to sell them. And then afterwards the narrator talks to them in a very friendly manner and he says that, why are you working so hard? And definitely, by the way I am seeing you, you're working so much, so definitely you must be earning a lot also. And why you are not spending that money on your clothes or for food? Because your clothes are not even good, and looking at you I know that you're not eating properly. And then he even asks them, are you having any plans to go to America? Are you saving money for that? At that time Nicola tells, yes, even that is there, but they have so many other things also in their mind, but he does not specifically tell him any reasons. And then the writer, since he's become friendly with them, he says that he's going to leave in a week. And if there's anything he wants them to do, he will definitely do for them. And that time Jacoba says that it will be very nice if you could drop them in the village Polenta, which is about 30 kilometers away, because every weekend on Sundays they will go there and they go by bus. Now when Jacoba asks this, Nicola's face shows that he did not like Jacoba requesting this to a stranger, because even though they are friends now, he is another person and he did not want to bother the narrator. But anyway, the narrator was very glad to agree to the boys, and he says, okay, I will take you to that place. So next day in the afternoon, he drives them to the village, and the boys get down near a villa, and the villa is a large red roofed villa. Actually, it is a hospital. The boys enter there. Now the narrator is really curious to know why they have come 30 kilometers away from that place and what are they up to there. So he goes inside and he finds a nurse, and he also sees the two boys talking with a girl. So he goes and asks about the boy and the girl to the nurse, and the nurse tells him that the girl's name is Lucia and she is their sister, and this Lucia is suffering from tuberculosis, and the two boys are taking care of their sister. And she also mentions that a bomb destroyed their home during the wartime, and their father, who was already a widower, he got killed during that early part of the war. And when he died, these three children were left to starve. That made the boys hate the Germans who came to rule the city, and they became a part of the resistance movement. But after the war was over, they came to know that Lucia was affected by tuberculosis, and so the boys had to admit her to the hospital. And from that time, they've been doing all sorts of jobs to pay the hospital fees. And now the narrator understands why they were doing so many jobs, and the nurse also expresses a surprise on how they are able to make the money, because it's so difficult to get a job in Verona nowadays. And the narrator tells the nurse not to mention anything about his enquiry to the boys, and he comes outside and he waits patiently for them. And when the boys come back, he does not show to them that he knows his secret. But in his mind, he decides that these two boys are the gentlemen of Verona, because they have shown what is humanity, and they have shown how sacrifice can win over any troubles in your life. It's a very beautiful story written by Cronin. Please read the original story so that you'll enjoy the beauty of it. And I hope you like this video. Share it with your friends. And if you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe. Thank you.